What is the outdoor education community?
I know they don't you do activities and stuff, go away for weeks at a time, camping and things like that. Is that about right?
So no. That you don't shower. They're a wild bunch.
What is the philosophy and purpose behind outdoor education?
Encourage. So I reckon it's like for me, outdoor ed's about enabling us to understand more clearly what our relationship with non-human nature is. That basically humans are part of nature is an important aspect, and that ultimately the contribution is going to be that if we understand more about how humans relate to nature, then we'll cease or at least curtail some of the sort of environmentally destructive practices that we presently have. But also we understand more about that other humans are also part of that whole grander ecology, and so our relationship with other humans should also be cognizant of that sort of interrelatedness, so the practices that we have against humanity prejudices, aggression and violence, that those things can also be mediated as we gain a greater understanding that we're all actually part of a much larger collective. And that's what I think Out to Red does. I think it can ideally contribute to that understanding of your interrelatedness to humanity, and also your understanding of your interrelatedness to non-human nature.
The unique characteristics of Out to Red.
Do you reckon it's good having a bike around Bendigo community?
Oh yeah, and bike's the best way. That's what we need. Fuck these cars off and all that bike.
Shit, yeah.
A common practice for Out to Redders is the pub scene.
Oh yeah, what are some of the, tell us about some of the unique characteristics and practices of the outdoor community in Bendigo.
As far as I know.
Yeah.
Okay, well...
that you've observed or experienced.
Yeah, okay, well, probably more so that I've observed. Going to the parties,
Yeah.
especially at the start of the year, there's so many parties that are on. You know, you just go to a different person's house each night. And, you know, some of them similar and different, but most of them are just like drinking together, talking in the backyard, sitting around the fire. Yeah.
It's very, using the initiative very well.
That's right.
That was very basic.
Cooking together. And eating together.
Hello and welcome to the show, everyone. Today we're here on national television to talk about community.
Weakness, or that's a strength, and that's where you get
3 pages
The
long,
infamous incest
more than
list.
3 pages long, and it's of people in just our year in Out to Red, like who have been with other people in Out to Red.
How big's your part?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, so if it takes about a whole page of it.
One Out to Red house.
Enjoy.
What's the matter, like? The mother's just... Yeah, Mother's too far away, she has... Oh! She dropped a fruit ring. Clean that. You don't have to clean that floor.
Don't waste it.
All the other time.
What's that?
Who always cleans up your house?
So much still. I clean the bathroom. I vacuum there.
Oh, you vacuum one.
I vacuum the floor. I mow the lawn. Steve mows the lawns. This is Steve mowing the lawns. This is the jungle.
Hey, why did I do Outdoor Ed? Well, there's a number of different reasons. Well, when I was a kid, a lot of Outdoor Ed sort of people used to take me out into the bush and climbing and stuff like that. And at the time, I was from I don't know, my parents had just broken up and I don't know, I was quite depressed. But after going into the bush quite a bit, I started to get a happier outlook on life. And ever since that time, I've just been getting more and more involved into Outdoor Ed. And now I've got into the course. So what I'd like to do with Outdoor Ed is work with young people. I'm not sure how, maybe in camps such as Mittagundee, but I'm not really sure. But I think there's a lot of good things that young people can get out of Outdoor Ed. Like, I don't know, stuff that we've talked about, such as a better self-image and I don't know.
Feeling of community.
Yeah, community. And yeah, ever since the start I've been quite impressed by how friendly Outdoor Edders can be. And yeah, so that's why I came here.
And look at that, mutual support. Betty, you've done well. Excellent. Well, excellent. Well, excellent.
But sometimes we're not so friendly.
And other aspects will of course are on trips, because I personally think that's when the relationships for me in my experiences have been, you know, grown stronger.
Yeah.
Because I think alcohol has a lot to do with it. With the lack of alcohol, I don't know, there's not such a superficial atmosphere. Like when you're out on a trip, you know, you're just living out in the bush, rather than being at a party or something with friends.
Often alcohol is involved.
Why do we need drugs? Why do we need alcohol?
We need alcohol to expand the limits of our mind. Well, bakeries are the haunt of many an Outdoor Ed nature tourism folk. You'll often find them there at all hours of the day, buying anything from meat pies with a lot of sauce to caramel slices and pastries of the sort. To feed their nomadic life, they must have an infinite supply of bakery food.
Can you tell us a bit about some of the strengths and weaknesses of the Bendigo outdoor education community?
I guess community is different from philosophy. Yeah, so keeping that in mind, I mean, answering the question of the strengths and weaknesses of the community, I think with any community, it's one of the dangers of living in close-knit community is that we become intolerant to other worldviews and other values and other belief systems. Yeah, so again, once we're aware of that, we can more consciously work on not letting that happen. So in terms of outdoor education here in Bendigo, I think we need to be aware of the fact that the Bendigo philosophy might be unique in its emphasis on the environment, but there are a lot of other ways of seeing outdoor education, and then accepting that there is also validity in other ways of looking at outdoor education and other philosophies.
So, what do you perceive as the strengths or limitations of the outdoor ed community in Bendigo?
Well, coming to Bendigo with knowing no one, now I know probably 80 to 100 people quite well, and I've never had so many close friends, but and that's a strength because you get to know so many people. But one of the weaknesses is it's hard to go outside that community because it's such a close community, and get to know other people because you're on trips and because you're not at home very often.
It's so clicky, it's a good thing. But it's also...
It's an excellent community.
So clicky.
In Bendigo, living there a year and a half later, the only people I know who are outside of the outdoor ed nature tourism community are like my 3 housemates this year, and that was kind of just by default.
How does that work?
Sorry, exclusiveness. As soon as it becomes exclusive, what's the point?
Okay. I was just wondering if you had any general impressions of outdoor editors and nature tourism people in the university?
Do I have a general opinion on it?
Yep. Any first impressions? Any?
Only that they're not totally linked to reality. I think they need to maybe get out in the workforce and to help experience their views.
I think that although, you know, you can go out and experience a really good trip, you come back to everyday life, supposedly, you know, where you live in your house with whoever. But I find it very hard having such an up and down lifestyle in that I'm never in one spot for longer than a time. And, you know, you might be on one trip one week with a group of people, then the next week you'll be on another trip with another group of people.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of benefits from it, but...
Again, speaking ideally, some of the things that Outdoor Ed tries to do is by taking people, get a group of fairly like-minded people who are on sort of the same wavelength in terms that they've all thought and read about the same sorts of ideas about humans and nature, that they've started to at least think along or about similar sorts of questions, if not think in the same way, that at least they're addressing the same sorts of questions. And then that cluster of people to go away together, I think, is a really important aspect. And I think that's probably the only unique thing that Outdoor Ed does is physically take a group of like-minded people who are thinking on the same sorts of questions away for a few days, so that they're in the company of a more natural setting, away from the sort of environment like this one, which really doesn't highlight for us our connectedness with nature. If anything, it distances us from naturalness. So when in Outdoor Ed we go climbing or paddling, we create via those activities a dependence on nature that we don't normally have, and that dependence is fundamental to our well-being. And like so to climb somewhere, I have a dependence on nature that I don't normally have, and that gets me thinking about my relationship with nature in a way that's fundamentally different to my everyday relationship. So whilst I've got a dependence in terms of the food that I eat, that's not linked to nature anymore. I get it from the supermarket, or, you know, if I'm lucky I have a veggie garden or a fruit tree, but it's of no consequence. Whereas in outdoor activity, it seems to me that there's a dependence that has real consequence, and we develop that dependence. As we develop that dependence, we're asked, or we automatically start to question what sort of relationship we have. You know, what's the meaning of our life, and some of those bigger questions. So I think.
Was a reliable union, right?
Yeah.
And with any activity in the outdoors, there's bound to be some impact on the environment.
It's a way of thinking about other people and the environment, I guess. That's sort of why we're here, to gain a good understanding of the role of Outdoor Ed in society, and to help bring it across to youngsters, I guess.
Kill yourself for recognition. Kill yourself to never ever stop. You broke another mirror. You're turning into something you are not. Don't leave me high. Don't leave me dry. Don't leave me high. Don't leave me dry. Drying up in conversation, you'll be the one who cannot talk. All your insides fall to pieces. You just sit there wishing you could still make love. They're the ones who hate you when you think you got the world all sussed out. They're the ones who spit at you. You'll be the one screaming out. Don't leave me high. today. I never thought this day would end. I never thought tonight could ever be this close to me. Just try to see in the dark. Just try to make it work. Feel the fear before you're here. Make the shapes lost in close. Put my eyes out, hold my breath and wait until I shake. Hey, hey, hey. But if I had your face, then I could make it safe and clean. If only I was sure that my head on the door was a dream. I've waited hours for this. I made myself so sick. I wish I'd stay asleep today. I never thought this day would end. I never thought tonight could ever be this close to me. But if I had your face, then I could make it safe and clean. Oh, if only I was sure that my head on the door was a dream.
Hello, Jess. Just to make you feel people good.
Hi, Jess.
Hey, how does it fade work? Can you pass me a knife? Yeah, hang on. Coming up for you. What a move. What's your name? State position?
Outdoor Ed. I'm happy to just be for a while.
What are you doing?
You're not taping.
What do you think about Outdoor Educators? No response. When you hear the words outdoor education, do you have anything that comes to mind, specifically?
Okay, what do you reckon about the Outdoor Ed boys?
Well, some of them are pretty good, actually.
Who do you reckon's pretty good?
No, I'm not giving names.
Generally pretty hot overall, don't you reckon?
Yeah, they're definitely the best looking blokes at the uni.
Why do you think that is? Why is it that all these hot guys get attracted to the same course?
I don't know. It's just they're good, I think, just because they're so rugged and natural. That's what makes them pretty good, I reckon. Well, you can tell who's an outdoor editor by looking at yous. But I get along well with them all. I have no troubles with them, and I reckon they're a pretty good bunch of people.
There's a bit of a general...
But if I had your face, then I could make it safe and clean. Oh, if only I was sure that my head on the door was a dream.